All right, so we've made it up to one of our favorite places to be. We're at Mid-South Lbr here in beautiful Youngstown, and there is an event going on. I'm so excited about talking with you today about that. Now, not only that, we still got a lot to talk about with our friends from Habitat for Humanity, and we're going to be previewing the outside of a house coming up on today's program. Also, I'm going to be showing you what a community event is all about. You know, Mid-South Lbr has been a great friend of our program for a long, long time, and you know what? They're a great friend of the community. My son Andy's with me today, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to find baby chicks and rabbits and all kinds of farm animal stuff, but some good lumber too, and I've got some tips for you. We're live at this episode from our friends at Mid-South Lbr in Youngstown. Y'all come on out and see us. We'll be right back.
Oh, well, it's Rick's house. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's house.
All right, so we're back, and I've got my buddy Ann. Now listen, I don't know what Ann's official title is. Chief woman in charge of Mid-South Lbr. Chief boss in charge of all things, but we've already learned that the boss is back there cutting more toolboxes because he didn't listen to what the chief woman told him. She writes my check, so when she talks, I listen. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all are having a great turnout. Tell us about.
Fabulous.
I just get so excited. Tell us about how Chick Days came about and what you guys are doing today.
Well, we wanted to do something for the community, fun for families, educational as well, you know, because homesteading and survivalism is becoming
Absolutely.
so trendy. And so we wanted to bring in, you know, a little bit of agriculture as well. So we have the goats back there, and they're doing goat milking demonstrations and cheese making demonstrations back there. We've got pony rides, and we have over 40 vendors today, and this is phenomenal. We've had a great turnout.
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. You know, and I noticed when I came in, Andy's like, "Where's the chicks?" And I'm like, "Well, you're a little young for that." He says, "No, Dad, the baby chicks." And so he went straight to them. I mean, he's so excited, and just to see the kids, you know, having a great time,
Yep.
and it's all about community and about being part of the community. And I'm so thankful for having Mid-South as our sponsor because it's just been a great partnership, and we're
We
so
appreciate
excited. And listen, if you need lumber, chickens, goat feed, bunnies, Ann is master on the bunnies. She knows all there is to know about them. Gates, you know, lumber, decks, roof. I don't care what it is. Install pros. If you're not doing business with Mid-South Lbr, you're backing up. We're so excited. Me and Ann's gonna go see what we can get into, see what else we can find, and we'll be back with more Habitat for Humanity and back at Chick Days here at Mid-South Lbr in Youngstown. You know, one of the things that they work on here when they put a Habitat for Humanity design together, and this is so cool, it's the reason I wanted to show you, every inch of this house is used. They want to get the maximum living area in the space that they have to work with, and I think it's so awesome because it just makes living in a house so much better. So if you'll notice, we don't have a lot of wasted hallway space. In the space that I'm in, you've got door, you've got one little wall here, which would be good probably to put a laundry pantry basket, not pantry basket, but a laundry basket, that kind of thing. Then you got door to bedroom, and then you got door to bedroom. And it's all right here together. No wasted hall space. It's a maximization of the floor plan that they got. The other thing that's cool about this space is two things I want to show you. Earlier we gave you the answer to the question, or maybe later, depending on when you see this in the program, if I don't mess Jeff up, but we talked about deadwood. Here again, you see deadwood along the tops, gives us something for the sheetrock to go to when it's on the edge. But the other thing that's interesting about it, you can get a really good shot of the trusses here. Now this house is built with a truss roof system, and this is what we call a fink truss. A fink truss, you always know it because when you look at it, and if we had this laid down on the ground, right in the middle of it, it has a great big W. And that's how you know. It's a great truss, very strong, does a great job. And then on the sides, we've built back into it with the hip roof. A fantastic job, looks great, and it's going to make this house look even more beachy like it should in Panama City. Let's move outside now and see what we can find out there before we move over to the next house. Okay, so we made our way outside, but before we leave this house that we're talking about right now that's under construction, I saw something that caught my eye. And here again, when we talk about the craftsmanship that happens when you have those guys and gals together that's getting the job done on Habitat for Humanity. One of the things that they do is they add a little additional piece of wood on the subfascia right up here at the top that you'll see, and we call that a shingle strip. That's what I call it. There's a lot of things for it. But by adding that, we're going to show you on the house next door that's having the vinyl siding applied to it, why that's there and what it does and how it makes the outside soffit of your house better. Just another little detail that we saw here on Rick's house and we want to share with you.
You know, I grew up in a house as an electrician's son, and I figured out right fast that I didn't want to do electricity for a living. Why? Because it takes a professional. Let me tell you about the professionals at Keefe & Sons Electric. Great friends of the Rick's House program. They are the electrical contractor that we like to recommend, who's with over 15 years of experience. They've built their company servicing the residential community and doing the commercial stuff. Solar systems, new construction, remodeling, bucket truck service, pools, spas, jacuzzis, wiring, electrical generator installations, panel upgrades, gas station wiring, and more. Whether it's troubleshooting or repair, we want you to call the team at Keefe & Sons Electric, 763-6599. That's 850-763-6599, or find them online at rickshouseradioshow.com. Go to game. Keefe & Sons Electric. We make the impossible doable. Keefe & Sons Electric, getting the job done from bucket trucks to small residential. Professional electric services done the way they should be. Keefe & Sons Electric Company, a Rick's House favorite.
Hi, I'm Dave Williams with Mid-South Lbr Install Pros. Do you have windows and doors that don't operate correctly? Is the glass fogged? Can you feel cold air coming in? Let the Install Pros at Mid-South Lbr replace those old windows and doors for you. Go from this to this, from this to this, and from this to this. Improve the looks of your home while increasing your home's value and lowering your power bills. Call me personally, Dave Williams at Mid-South Lbr Install Pros, 215-5185. That's 215-5185.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cohen. If you're suffering with back pain, neck pain, headaches, leg or arm pain, or if you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, please listen carefully.
Cairo Network Healthcare Centers.
At Cairo Network, we offer 2 free x-rays. Those x-rays allow us to locate and evaluate your problem and determine whether chiropractic care is appropriate for you. So why not find out today whether chiropractic care can be the answers to your health problems? Give us a call.
All right, so we're just making our way around here at the Chick Days. Here we are in Youngstown at Mid-South Lbr. Just made my new buddy Adam from the Farmish Market, and you know it's that pickle okra brother that stopped me on coming in. And not only that, chow chow. And I grew up in the country and up in East Tennessee, and you know we grew up eating chow chow, pickled okra, pickled green tomatoes, pickled boiled eggs, all the things that you find here. Tell me about what you do. Tell me about your business. Tell me about what's going on, because you've just got, I mean, a ton of stuff here.
Yes, I have a lot here, and what it was is actually my sister's idea.
Yeah.
And she wanted to provide good quality produce at a reasonable price, and like it says, you know, on our front door, it says, you know, we sell more than just great produce. We sell friendship. We'll talk with you. We'll give you tips on how to prepare the food, prepare your vegetables. If we don't have it, we'll send you to somebody else that we think will. We don't have a problem doing that.
Right.
Now, are you growing most of the stuff yourself, or you got farmers growing it? You got a combination of things.
Yeah.
How you doing it?
Yeah, it's kind of a combination. We have people, runners that go to the big markets in Birmingham and South Florida for us to pick up produce. We also grow heirloom tomatoes of our own.
Wow.
I grow zucchinis, green beans, squash. Of course, that's all seasonal, which is coming out in May.
Absolutely.
We also have people that come in from just right around the corner from our market that was citrus. We get local people.
Wow.
They're like, hey, I got a tree full of oranges, and they bring them here. We'll trade with them. They need milk. We trade them milk for it. Ooh.
Absolutely.
You know, so we barter, trade, sell. We consign other people's goods.
Just the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
You know, I think that and we were talking a little bit earlier with Ann from Mid-South Lbr, and with the interest in homesteading and survivalism and all the things that interest me, quite frankly, as that's kind of how I grew up. So, you know, it's kind of good to get back to those kinds of things, and splitting our time between here and East Tennessee, where we do radio and television there. You know, it's neat to see how things are done a little differently. We can't grow a tomato down here to save our life, and it ain't got nothing to do except for the farmer.
Yeah.
But back home we can grow those. But down here we've got lime trees and we got lemons and we got all these kinds of things that just make it so unique to this part of the area. I
Yes.
love the idea about bartering and trading and using local goods, and you always get the freshest things when that happens.
Sure do.
Are you doing the pickled okra and the chow chow and all that you guys sell? You got somebody does that for you?
No, we actually have it trucked down from Millersburg, Ohio.
Wow.
It's Amish made.
Wow.
They use a natural preservative in it, not a chemical preservative or anything
Excellent.
like that. Like say like a bag of Cheetos or something like
Sure.
that. All the backwoods country, the Troyer, the Amish wedding, is all Amish made. It is rejarred though,
Right.
but that's because of the FDA's
Sure, you gotta
rules
follow
on
the
that.
rules
Got
on
to
it,
follow the rules.
absolutely.
Got to have that single lid. You can't have the double old-fashioned lid like your grandma used to use. anymore.
Exactly. Wow.
But we have the candies, the trail mixes.
It's just
a lot of stuff.
It's just phenomenal, and I appreciate you taking time to visit with us today. And I guarantee you, my wife will be making her way over to the farmers market. Thank you, brother.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure. Look
Thank
forward to it. Listen, we're going to be back with some more home improvement tips and things going on. I can't tell you which episode we're going to be on. We may be at Mid-South Lbr, we may be at Habitat for Humanity, or we may be somewhere else. But I promise you, we'll have something good for you. Hang on, we'll be right back, y'all. Okay, so we're at a different Habitat for Humanity house, and we're excited. This is next door to the house we've been talking about in this episode, or maybe previous episodes, depending on when you see it. But one of the things that I wanted to show you, some of the finishing products. Now, these houses are pretty similar in design, but the thing that's different about them is just the stages of construction that they're in. So with this one, we're going to talk about a few things. First of all, if you look down here at the bottom, we're going to see that we've got the barrier, the felt barrier that's up underneath the slab itself, and then you're going to see on top of that you actually have Tyvek or Hardybacker. It looks like to be Tyvek. I don't know what brand it is, but for lack of a better term, it's a house wrap that we've got on there because we've put that underneath this vinyl siding. Now, this is a good quality vinyl siding. I can tell by feeling of it because it's not brittle. It's got a good ply to it. This is what we call a Dutch lap, which means that the siding comes up about this far and then it makes an inward turn and then back out. This is a really good siding when it comes to hiding the seams, when you want to see where the siding overlaps. The other thing about this is that this particular pattern doesn't show the seams as well, but it also is stronger. And so it's stronger in terms of indenting, it gets hit with a ball, those kinds of things. Plus, I think it's pretty attractive. One of the things that you want to see right here on the window, as we talk about that, is a good quality vinyl window. This is a single hung, you can tell right here. We've got fusion welded corners. You can see we've got the drains built in, the screen's already in place. It's got grids, grills, mullions, buttons, colonial lights, whatever you want to call it, between the glass. Looks to be low E argon for energy efficiency, but don't know that for sure. I'd have to look on the inside to tell. But it's got an additional channel right here that comes beside the window. This is most likely built in, it is, and so you don't have to use a separate J channel to receive the siding. It receives right into the window itself. Now let me talk to you just a minute about something that Tom Ledman from Ledman Homes told me when I first moved to Panama City as we were talking about contracting. He said, Rick, let me explain something to you about this part of the world. Excuse me, because I had never build houses where we have hurricane codes and all those kinds of things. He said, we don't stop water, we only manage water. And so let me share that with you and let you know that, look, we're not going to stop water, especially in this part of the world. It comes at you sideways in 120 miles an hour winds sometimes. So you can't stop it. So what you have to do is you have to prepare to manage that water so that that water is not going to be a problem. That's what we're doing here, because these panels have to move. As this vinyl siding heats up, if I grab that, I can move it just a little bit back and forth. It's got to be able to expand and contract. And even though it's locking together, it's still not sealed. There's water going to get behind this, I promise you. It'll come in through here, it'll come around there, wherever, but it will wick itself back out and drain right back out the bottom. And because we've got house wrap on there, it ain't going to hurt a thing. Remember, don't ever think that you're going to stop water, but always remember that you're only going to manage water.
Rick's wardrobe provided by Neck Life. To get your Neck Life gear, go to rickshouseradioshow.com.
When you sit down with an accountant to plan for your financial future, trust counts. And when you choose a doctor to care for your loved ones, trust counts. And when you choose a roofing contractor to protect you from the storms, trust counts. Tadlock Roofing, when trust counts. Proud to be North Florida's only Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor. To learn more, go to whentrustcounts.com. whentrustcounts.com.
For 3 generations, Parker Heating and Cooling has been family owned and operated, bringing you top-notch service and installation in Bay and surrounding counties. Our customers trust us with our 24-hour service and our fair and honest free estimates. Be fully prepared for the change in seasons with our professional maintenance and service. We can make sure your system is operating at its peak efficiency. Call Parker Heating and Cooling at 871-4343 because your comfort matters.
You know, one of the good things that came out of the bad hurricanes in New Orleans was our friend Trudy and Jan came to Panama City, and guess what? They brought that Cajun place with them. Fantastic meals, Friday afternoon crawfish broils, and the great Cajun food. Good lunch specials, so let's go on in and see what they're cooking today.
Hi, I'm Trudy White, owner and chef of That Cajun Place. Originally from home, Louisiana, I bring authentic Cajun cooking to Panama City Beach. We offer a variety of po' boy sandwiches, all served on authentic French bread from New Orleans. Menu includes things like the Big Easy, the Houdat, Bayou Club, and the Nolans. Also try a bowl of our award-winning chicken and andouille sausage gumbo with a half a po' boy for only $7.50. Every Friday night we have a Cajun seafood boil, featuring whatever seafood is in season. Right now we're doing shrimp and blue crabs, including corn, potatoes, and mushrooms, and whatever else we can throw in the pot.
It's like having New Orleans right here in Panama City.
It's delicious. It's got being back home. It's great.
Okay, we're from Louisiana, and it is up to par.
Up to par?
Up to par.
Come join us at That Cajun Place, located at 8019 Thomas Drive, right next door to Salt Lake Tavern, where you can come and enjoy authentic Cajun cooking right on the beach. We're open from 11 to 9 Monday through Saturday and closed on Sunday. Go Saints.
You know, in an earlier episode, we were talking about the shingle strip that you're taking a look at. And it could have been earlier in this episode, or it could have been one prior to this, just depending on how our footage comes together. There's so much to talk about that I've had, we end up with more information than what we thought, so we're sharing that with you. But the shingle strip is important, and you see the drip edge that's up on top right underneath the shingles. And if you remember, I showed you there's a piece of wood right behind it that's added extra. Now, that's directly behind that white aluminum. That gives that drip edge a little something extra to hold it out. It also allows the shingle to be distributed a little bit further past the subfascia. And here's the other cool part about it. When we come and we cover the vinyl soffit up with an L-shaped piece of metal, that metal goes up and behind the shingle strip, and we've got a solid seal on the outside of that soffit. Fantastic work by the team here and the vinyl siding guys at Habitat for Humanity. Now let's move on over to the door, and I want to show you a few things as we talk about that I find interesting. Why we sell steel doors of any kind on the Gulf Coast of Florida is beyond me. But we still do sometimes, but not here. Right here we've got a smooth skin fiberglass door. You say, Rick, what's the purpose of that? Well, number one, it looks great. It looks just like a wood door. Number two, if you've got pets outside, inside, or heathen children, just kidding y'all, I got some myself, but if you've got pets that want to try to scratch this, ain't gonna happen. It also doesn't dent. So it's solid and it's super energy efficient, and it's probably only about $10 to $20 more than a steel door. And guess what? It don't rust. So good quality product choice here on the front door. Wagon wheel design puts a little character to it. But not only that, let me show you some additional things that they've done here on the Habitat for Humanity house. Now, if you look at the bottom of the seal, it's got a seal cover on it. That's the black piece that you see right there. That covers the seal up in the threshold during the transition of coming in and out. A great thing to have. Not only that, underneath it, see that piece of pressure treated, the green pressure treated right underneath the seal? Way to go, guys and gals. Way to think ahead. Because if you didn't apply that to the underneath of this door, A, you don't have a place for the brick mold to rest,
B, you don't have a place for about 1.5 inches of the seal and threshold to rest, and that would be torn off of that door and leaking in no time. Plus, it gives us a little kick plate so we're not hurting anything, and also makes that step solid for us as we step up. You notice that the door also has what we call a PVC, or sometimes we call it Marley grade frame. This door and this brick mold is not going to wick water from the bottom and rot out the first 6-7 inches. This is going to stay with you. You don't have to worry about replacing that down the line. Another good choice by our friends at Habitat for Humanity. Good vinyl siding, good door choices. This is going to be a great house. I wouldn't mind living in it myself. You know, one of the questions I get asked a lot of times, whether it's on the radio show or I get an email, we're going to talk about it on the television show today, is how to fasten things appropriately when we're talking about shutters or we're dealing with concrete. One of the things that I've learned, if you're fastening to a house that has masonry on it, I like to use a Tapcon. Now, a Tapcon is a hardened screw that's designed to go into a masonry base and hold. Now, what you do is, as you can see in this kit, the masonry bit is already inside. We take the masonry bit, preferably using a hammer drill, which doesn't only spin the bit, but pecks at the same time. Two things are very important to remember when using a masonry bit. If you get the bit too hot, you're going to burn it up, okay? You want to periodically pull the bit back out and remove the debris and make sure that you don't overheat the bit because it'll become dull and not work. Once you've done that, it creates a small hole. The screw itself is hardened, so as it goes back in, it will fastens itself and create its own thread. Really good for putting shutters on block houses and things of that nature down here. It's a great tip, something we use a lot of, and if you live in Florida, you better learn about Tapcons.
Hi, I'm Dave Williams with Mid-South Lbr Install Pros. Do you have windows and doors that don't operate correctly? Is the glass fogged? Can you feel cold air coming in? Let the install pros at Mid-South Lbr replace those old windows and doors for you. Go from this to this, from this to this, and from this to this. Improve the looks of your home while increasing your home's value and lowering your power bills. Call me personally, Dave Williams at Mid-South Lbr Install Pros, 215-5185. That's 215-5185.
When you sit down with an accountant to plan for your financial future, trust counts. And when you choose a doctor to care for your loved ones, trust counts. And when you choose a roofing contractor to protect you from the storms, trust counts. Tadlock Roofing, when trust counts. Proud to be North Florida's only Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor. To learn more, go to whentrustcounts.com. whentrustcounts.com.
For 3 generations, Parker Heating and Cooling has been family-owned and operated, bringing you top-notch service and installation in Bay and surrounding counties. Our customers trust us with our 24-hour service and our fair and honest free estimates. Be fully prepared for the change in seasons with our professional maintenance and service. We can make sure your system is operating at its peak efficiency. Call Parker Heating and Cooling at 871-4343 because your comfort matters.
Okay, so we're back at Chick Days, and we're excited because I saw some really cool art, and it says Cherokee Treasures, and I got just a little Cherokee in me, and also a little Blackfoot. So, from 2 different sides of my family. So, man, you got some cool stuff. Tell us what you got going on today.
Okay, well, this is my husband's art, and he's a Cherokee.
Wow.
He wood burns, and he paints, and he carves from deer horn.
Wow.
So this right here, we just sold it to the library, but we're showing it for, to advertise.
Sure. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
It looks almost like a picture, Not
Yeah.
like, it looks like a photograph. You know, like a photograph.
It's watercolor.
Wow.
He also does, he can do a portrait from any picture. He can paint it or he can wood burn it.
Wow, isn't that cool? Wood burning, how does that seems so hard to do for me.
Is it hard? He said it's easy.
It's easy for him. It's hard for us.
It's hard for us, yeah.
And so, is he a full-time artist?
He's a full-time artist.
Fantastic.
He's always doing something.
And where you guys from?
We live in Alpha, but Jeffrey, he's from Oklahoma.
Okay.
That's why. So the Cherokee's here in Florida now.
Absolutely. So we're glad to have y'all here. It's absolutely gorgeous, and we are so excited, you know, to see the craftsmanship and to see somebody who's got a fantastic gift. How cool that is. That's the kind of stuff you'll find when you come to Chick Days here at Mid-South Lumber. Thank you guys so much, and we'll look forward to what we can find next. Hang on, we'll be right back. All right, we found the boss in the tool shop making it happen, because as we told you earlier, Ann said, hey, we need this many toolboxes for kits for kids, and he said, no, we don't need that many. Well, now we find him back here in the back in a pile of sawdust, but you know we love him because Kurt has been fantastic to us, and we're so proud to have Mid-South Lumber as our sponsor. And also, it's good to get back here where I can smell a little sawdust, my brother.
Perfect.
Now, tell us what we got going on. You got your pattern made.
My pattern's back here,
okay.
so you know, I didn't listen to Am, just like you said. I didn't listen to Am. So now I'm back here just cutting out more. I think we've had about 150.
Fantastic. So the kids are out here, you know, learning how to make a toolbox. It's so awesome.
That's what the event's about, Rick. We're going to get the kids out here, get a good community event going, and we just want to have fun today.
It's absolutely so good. And one of the things I like is when you go into a shop, one of the things that you see, first of all, when you're going to work with a compound miter box, and this is a compound miter or just a straight miter box or cutoff saw, the hardest thing to do is to make sure that you've got something to prop that long lumber with on both sides. Because if this gets jumping around on the fence, it's going to get your cut off. Now, my grandfather and Kurt's grandfather would not accept, I don't care if it was caulking or not, if it's off a 1/16 of an inch, it's just, we got to cut it again. Because, and they was doing it probably with handsaw. We don't get that particular around here. But what I will tell you is when we talk about not letting do it yourself, do it to yourself, it's important to help yourself not do it to yourself. And what I mean by that is, see how the table saw, the compound miter saw is sturdy, it's mounted to the table, he's got scotches on both sides, so when he lays the lumber in there, it's good to go. He's not going to slip up here and cut a finger off. The guard is on, and he's already taken his safety glasses off, so he's ready to make toolboxes. So when you're getting ready to do it around the house, make sure that you prepare before you start that project. That's a Rick's House tip for you. Hang on, y'all. I want to thank you so much for visiting with us today and allowing us to come into your house each and every Saturday and Sunday morning. Andy, have we had a pretty good time at Chick Days here?
Yeah.
You have? What do you got in your hands?
A chick.
A little chick? What are we going to name him? Festus?
Frankster.
Frankster. You got an eagle necklace, you got a chick in your hand, and I also want to say a special thanks to my new buddy, Jeffrey Watt, Cherokee Indian artist, who gave this to me today. I proudly hang on my mirror. Man, what a great time we've had. I hope you have a good week, and I hope you come back to us next week, because you never know where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, or who you're going to see on Rick's House. Y'all have a good one.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.